Karen?
If I may interject, I'm seeing a fine RV plan, but Billy, you've given its preservation mention, but I'm not seeing historic preservation. What we have is quite unique. Mary Saltarelli is here, who will be working on our nomination for the national listing in the National Registry. And what we have is a historic structure. What we're seeing being designed and presented is a modern day RV park. Oakdale, as we know, was designed for RVs that are not of modern era, that are a whole different scale. And it's moving the cabins is going to severely jeopardize our nomination, as well as we're removing the historic playground and just the scale. We have a wonderful opportunity in that additional acreage to, the 40-foot, the entrance boulevard for two-way modern day RV traffic the tree preservation, the view on Bernard Street. To me, the historic integrity of the park will be severely compromised by trying to make it a modern day RV park.
Well, let me first say that, I'm on all the preservation groups and have served on the state Texas Lakes Trail Board, and we're preserving every building, every structure. And the thing about it is, I don't think the city can operate this as a museum. If we're going to be in the RV business, it's different than what it was 40 or 50 years ago. So I think, again, it's that tightrope that we're trying to walk, that, we're going to preserve the buildings, we're going to try to maintain the integrity the best we can, but, just like, you and I had a discussion today, the cabins that we're wanting to move, and it's not a deal breaker for me, but, there's actually a tree growing into one of the cabins, and there's trees growing over some of the cabins that in the not too distant future, the trees are going to have to be removed. And so there we get into the deal, do we save the tree or do we save the cabin? And so, anyway, it's just it's a tough deal.
I'd just like to point out that in the first place, I have many years with the National Park Service where natural and historic preservation was my life. And I do take great pride in the fact that I do incorporate that into my design. And when you reduce 215 sites on 14 acres to 100 sites on 20 acres, you have greatly reduced the impact on the land, tremendously, on the land, on the resources. When you park people in parking places instead of helter-skelter over the roots of trees and over what happens when people just park wherever and what they pour out of their cars and first one thing and another. Yes, that 40-foot entrance is required by the state. However, you're running massive numbers of these big rigs in there right now, and now that you own it, you have a liability issue that you're going to buy into if you don't meet those state standards. So, and without fail, we have not recommended touching any building except for those little white cottages that seem to be in a state of disrepair anyway, and not tearing them down, but moving them to a place where they can better be utilized and seen. So again, I want to emphasize that I did try to exercise as much sensitivity to the resource as I could. The theater area has been preserved. The playground area, what is there now is a swing and so forth, and I would see a much more creative playground across from where you see it here than that sort of thing. That would be in keeping with what you have. But I don't want to be argumentative, but I think that when you reduce the impact on the land the way we've done it, you greatly enhance the preservation issues that go with it.
But the
just-
scale has changed. The
I'm
scale
sorry?
has changed
The
though.
what?
The scale.
The scale.
Yes.
Well, it has, except that when you take 200 units and put it in without scale, it's destruction. And when you take 100 and put it in designated areas, it has a preserving impact. But I don't want to be argumentative, because I know you love your resource, and I don't blame you.